Hello everyone, this is Valence Savages, and today I want to show you how I will use Precast Concrete solution on some walls in the Revit project, and I will create this kind of wall elements with some connections in the corners and with some chamfers at the edge. And then how do I get this kind of sheet with automatic drawings and dimensions. So I'll go back to sample project, the empty one, and I will show you how did I do that. So the first thing what I want to show you is that I have here one wall and another wall for the finish layer, right? So I will work with this layer only. So what I want to do here is that I will select two of these walls, what I have here, and then I will go to section, and you see I already have some reference planes, so I will use those to split wall horizontally and vertically. So the first thing what I want to use is smart walls. So it has commands like split wall menu, and I can pick many different options how to split my walls. So what I will do, I will say I want to split horizontally by reference planes. So by these reference planes, like they are named, or I can select the reference planes. So because they are named, I can do it like so and click on OK. And result is like this. So I don't have this window in my exterior wall, but that's all right because I will split actually these walls vertically. So I will split by reference planes, but only these three walls, and escape on the keyboard, and then I have these nice splits over here, and I will select these three walls and I'm gonna get rid of them, right? So I don't have it anymore, and then I have only these walls now around my window. So the next thing what I will do, I'll go back maybe to 3D view, and I will select just a couple of walls to make some different splitting. So let's pick these walls. Alright, and then I will use one of the commands like split by maximum spacing. So whatever I have in my splitting settings will be applied. So it's dividing my walls into separate wall panels. And of course I can use different commands, like I can select these elements and say split them from the start or end or from the center, however I want. And maybe I'm just gonna split those as well into the, let's say, split by number into 4 segments. So just click on OK. So I have different kind of elements now created, and the next thing what I want to do is actually I want to make it like this. I want to place connections for them. So I'll select these elements and I will hide this tool, and to insert connections I will use Smart Connections tool. So I can use it here from the ribbon, or I can find it in the Precast Concrete, right? So it doesn't matter. We have the same commands over here. So I select these elements and I say insert elements, and then I have configuration, what kind of connections should be inserted here. So I run through these panels, and what I have here now is that I have this cut at the end, and I have this wall now in this kind of shape, right? So I have this cut, and I have this nice cut of my panel, and I have these connections in the corners based on my configurations and the positions where do I want to have them. So I will do the same for these elements. Insert, sorry about that, forgot to split this one. Let's go to Smart Walls and to Split Wall menu, and let's do it again, and let's do it from the end or whatever. Did the split, and let's do insert of connections for these panels as well. So let's go ahead and select those, insert elements, and another configuration, because I want to place this cut at that different end. But now it looks quite good. I have these nice cut in the corner, and yeah, so I'm good with those corner panels. So the next thing what I will do is just that I will select these panels, right? So these are not corner panels in my case. So I'm just gonna select them like this, and I will say insert elements, and then select another configuration which I have here, and I will say insert. So it's just going to place connection elements in the corners with define settings, right? So I have these elements now in the corners. The next thing what I want to do for those panel elements is that I want to select those. Okay, let's do it like this. I will select this one, select in visible in view, and I'm just going to select those, which is not splitted yet. And the next thing what I will do, I'm just going to hide this one and go ahead and use another tool, which is also part of Precast Concrete. So sort mark is to renumber elements. So I want to renumber elements. I want to write information into mark parameter of these elements. And I have some settings here how we should be renumbered. So I'm just going to run this. And the result is that now I have mark values over here, right? So I have this mark value over here. I have it for all of the panels. I have different mark values based on my configurations. If I will go to section 1, and what I will do now is that I will say I want to tag those elements, and for that I will use smart tags from Smart Views tool. So the reason for that is because I can tag only horizontal elements, and these are on the corner I have other elements which I don't want to tag. So I've applied some filters in Smart Tags tool, and then I get the marking only on these wall panels. And I can do the same for this one, tag elements in view, right? Click on OK, and it's going to tag them. As well, I can apply smart dimensions if I want. Maybe we should go to section 1. It will be a better result. And I have this dimension rules, so I'm just going to click on OK. It's just dimension walls and windows. What I have in my view is just giving me the dimension of panel size and the gap distance, right? So I have them like so. So the next thing what I want to do is to create assemblies, drawings, and dimensions for these elements. So I will just select a couple of different elements over here from these panels, right? And then I can use Smart Assemblies tool. So I can find it here or under the T4R document tab, and I can say create assemblies, select configuration, where I define what kind of views do I want to create, what kind of dimensions do I want to create, and how the views should be placed on the sheet. So I said I want to have actually only front view and top view, and just place them on A4 size sheet. Right, so let's click on OK, and let's go down, and in our project, what do we have already? That we have front view and the top view. Front view has dimensions, the top view doesn't have in this case, but if we'll go to other sheets, depends on the shape of a panel, we can get different dimensions, right? So you see all of them are dimensioned, and if I'll go here, so I have a cut for this panel, so it's also dimensioned. So that's the workflow you can use if you would like to test Precast Concrete solution or any of these tools, like create drawings or smart connections. You can visit our webpage, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and get more info about it, and have 2 weeks trial for any of our solutions. So I hope you like it. Stay tuned, and bye.
Agacad, building BIM together.